Welcome, my friend, step gently into the realm where words bleed into truths, into the sanctuary of verses carved from wounds, into the garden where memories grow not as flowers but as scars that refuse to wither. Each word here is not a mere sound, it is a fragment of my soul torn from my chest and laid bare upon the page. Each line is a mark, etched deep into me like a scar that time never managed to heal. Each verse carries the unbearable weight of silence too heavy to keep hidden any longer. People gather in hushed corners, behind doors shut tightly against the night, whispering their speculations with eager tongues. They wonder endlessly, why did she leave him? Why abandon the prince who had every gift bestowed upon him? Why step away from the crown, the treasure, the flame of his name? They measure with eyes that have never known the ache of truth, but I tell you this, do not believe the noise of gossiping mouths. Do not weigh love against glittering diamonds, nor measure joy in silks or golden thrones. Tonight, I will not stay quiet. I will not bow with rehearsed smiles to silence their curiosity. No, I will answer with rhythm, with the pulse of truth, with the raw, unpolished song of a heart broken wide open. They asked me once, was she not the dream you prayed for? Was she not the goddess etched into your sky, the one who carved poetry into your nights? And I will not deny it, yes, she was. She was not merely a dream, she was the dream that startled me awake and made life burn brighter. She was the fire that roared in my chest when hope felt dim, the steady light that shone through my eyes when the world felt dark. She was every prayer answered in human form. Then why, they ask, why did she leave if she was so deeply loved? And I answer, she did not walk away because I loved her too little. She did not leave because the palace walls were cold. She did not vanish because the world itself was cruel. No, she left because there was something stirring within her, something no kingdom, no throne, no jewel could satisfy. A storm of need, of hunger, of truth, that my crown could never silence. She loved my crown, yes, but not the cage it wrapped around her spirit. She loved my heart, yes, but not the stage that demanded she play a role she never chose. She adored the man who whispered her name by candlelight in the quiet of midnight, but she could not keep breathing beside the monument the world had forced me to become, too blinding, too untouchable, too loud to hear her fragile silences. I gave her my kingdom. I gave her my name carved into the stones of history. I gave her my throne and let the world sing her praises. Yet when she searched beneath the velvet carpets, beyond the doors framed with jewels, she found emptiness where warmth should have been. I kissed her hands but failed to see her tears staining them. I touched her skin but overlooked the tremors of her fears. I shared my nights but denied her the comfort of true silence. She asked for us for the simple bond of two souls and I gave her the applause of the world. She longed for peace, quiet, still, safe, and I drowned her in endless noise. She wanted love, raw and gentle, unpolished and true, but I handed her a palace that glittered yet rang hollow at its core. Do you know what happens when a smile fades? It is not sudden, not violent, but slow, like the leaves of autumn, falling one by one until the tree is bare. First, the laughter grows smaller, quieter, almost shy. Then words begin to falter, carrying less weight than they once did. Nights grow longer, colder, more distant. And then distance hardens into permanence. Her smile folded into silence. Her dreams curled into shadows. Her spirit pressed helplessly against the invisible glass of golden cages. And though the keys rested in my hand, I was blind to the prison I had built. I mistook my palace for paradise, but to her, it was nothing more than chains that choked her spirit. She wrote me letters please painted in ink that I schemed without truly reading. She spoke with a soft voice, but my pride was too loud to hear it. I felt her footsteps growing lighter, retreating from me, yet I convinced myself they would always return. I noticed her hand trembling, fragile as a leaf, but instead of holding it tighter, I kissed it and let go. I believed love was possession, that devotion was measured in what I gave. But real love, true love, is not about what is owned. It is about attention. It is about listening, holding, being present, not just in the grandeur of thrones but in the quiet of two hearts beating side by side. She left because I could not offer that. She left because my voice drowned her whispers, because my ego grew larger than my ears, because my crown pressed heavier on her shoulders than it ever did on mine. She left because I gave her the throne but abandoned her to sit there alone. She left because she longed for a partner, not a portrait to admire in the Hall of Kings. And the people, they laughed at her courage, blind to its depth. They called her foolish. They mocked her choice. They asked, who turns their back on gold, who walks away from power, who abandons a palace and a prince carved from poems? But I know the truth, and it carves me deeper than their cruel laughter ever could. She was braver than all of them. She gave up glitter for honesty. She traded applause for silence. She laid down her crown to pick up her soul. She walked away not because she despised me, but because she needed to be herself, and that courage will forever eclipse any throne. Now I wander endless halls, where her echoes trail me like shadows. Her scent still lingers in silk left untouched. Her shadow stretches thin across the bed where I sleep alone. Her laughter hides like a ghost in corners where once we shared joy. And her silence, it is the loudest thing, filling every room, weighing heavier than any crown. Some nights, I hear her name whispered by the wind itself, and I rush to pull back curtains, half believing her shadow will return. But no, she is gone, and that is her right. She chose herself. She chose her light. And if love is real, if it is selfless, then love means allowing her to fly even if it tears me apart. I will love her until the end of my days, not by holding her captive but by honoring the freedom she fought to keep. Yes, it shattered me. Yes, it hollowed out my chest and left the ruins of a throne turned to ash. But real love outlives even loss. Real love respects choice, even when it is painful. And now I know what I once refused to see, that cold floors, no matter how rich, mean nothing if the heart inside is frozen. That diamonds will never replace warm arms in the dark. That gold will never quiet the ache of loneliness. The world may call her foolish. They may laugh at her rebellion. But I call her wise, because she understood what I never did, that joy cannot be bought, that freedom is priceless, that love without peace is not love at all. If she hears me now, wherever her journey takes her, I hope she knows that she will always have a home. Not in a palace, not in a throne, not beneath a crown of heavy jewels, but in my heart, a place that will never bow, that will never forget her. For though she walked away from the prince, she never abandoned the man who loved her. Though she left behind the thrones, she still holds my hand in memory, in song, in the eternal corridors of love that never crumble. So if you ask me again, why did she go, I will not lie, nor will I hide. She left because she needed more. More than velvet, more than fame, more than pride. She left because I did not see the storm raging quietly within her. She left because I gave her the world outside but neglected to build her a sanctuary inside. She left not in anger, not in spite, but because sometimes, the only way to survive is to choose yourself. And so she left. And I remain not as a prince draped in silk, not as a ruler admired from afar, but as a man stripped of his illusions, mourning the love he failed to keep alive. This is not a tale of blame. It is not even a tale of regret. It is a confession carved into poetry, a testament to a love I will carry until my last breath. This is a song for the woman who left, a woman who saved herself, a woman I will never forget. I carried her face not on posters, not in flashing lights, not in parades for the world to cheer, but in the quietest chamber of my heart where no greedy eye could intrude. She was never meant to be an ornament for a throne, nor a jewel paraded for fame. She was a steady flame, not wildfire but soft glow, meant to warm and guide, not to blind and burn. She was a whisper of peace in a world of endless noise. Behind tall gates, beyond the glare of chandeliers, she walked with the gentleness of wind brushing grass, with a voice that healed more than any crown could promise. She was not born for the grand stage, nor made to entertain crowds who devour stories, but her simple soul made a gilded age feel like home. Her laughter rose like delicate rain that blesses dry land, and her silence, even heavier than music, stitched the torn fabric of my restless heart. No crown, no kingdom, no gold in this world could match the quiet wealth I found in the endless depth of her eyes. And so, I vowed in my prayers and on the edge of battles, with all that I had, to protect her, not for applause, not for headlines, not for those who gossip, but for the sky itself, for the stars that know truth, for the clouds that carry witness. She was not an ornament, not a prize, but my most guarded word, my secret chapter, the fire that gave my heart its beat. And by what I thought was mercy, fate placed her hand into mine, binding her with me. But fate is never still, never gentle for long. Shadows creep even where light has sworn to rest. What I believed was sealed tight, a secret guarded as though by stone, was cracked in the cruel glare of morning. I woke to see her face scattered across pages and screens, her quiet image stolen and spread without care. Whispers moved faster than fire. Crowds stared, their eyes hungry, their tongues quick. That face I swore only stars should know was tossed into the marketplace of fame, stripped of peace and clothed in shame. I raged in silence. Who dared to cross the line? Who had torn down the wall I built with care? Who reduced a vow of love into a story for coins? Town to town the whispers grew, her name was repeated not as prayer but as bait for the curious. They painted stories not born of her truth, they invented colors not of her soul, and all the while they forgot that every tale has a heart, every image a wound. For them it was thrill, for me it was loss, for her it was a grief too sharp to carry. I walked my halls with eyes burning, searching for guilt hiding behind lowered gazes. The guards stood as if carved from stone, the maids drifted as shadows, but none dared confess though the weight of betrayal pressed heavy in the air. So I sent for my falcon, the only hunter I trusted, to carry my thirst for truth into the winds. It returned with whispers of jealous hearts, of restless hands that envied peace. A cousin's friend, a guest drunk on envy, had lifted his phone above the crowd. He had clicked not once but many times, and in the night he sold her peace for gold. To him, it was nothing more than a clever game, a short road to his own name, a bargain where her soul was the price. He thought he had risen by exposing what was sacred, but he had only chained himself to guilt. I did not come to him with soldiers, nor with swords drawn, but with silence heavy enough to crush. I stood at his door until his head bent, his voice cracked. He stammered excuses that he thought the world should see her, thought that by joining my love and her beauty he would make a crown shine brighter. He believed love was something to parade, that fame and affection walked the same road. But love is not meant to be thrown into the market, not meant to be sold for applause. Love is a seed, fragile in the beginning, needing earth, water, time, and protection. It is not his to trade, not his to spoil, not his to stain. By his hand, he clothed her peace in shame, turned her soul into a spectacle, reduced her silence into noise. He thought claps would lift him higher, but all he built were chains of guilt. And then I found her, behind the screen where the crowd had invaded, her tears quiet but burning. Her eyes were red, but her face was unbroken, her spirit still intact though scarred. She did not rage, she did not curse. She simply wept, then with trembling voice spoke courage greater than mine. My love, she said, we have a choice. Let them look if they must. Their stares do not break us. Their whispers cannot undo what we are. They may carry my face, they may spread my name, but they do not own the bond that joins us. Our love is not born of screens nor of shouts, it is written deep in the sky, where hands of men cannot reach. So let the rumors burn. Let gossip run wild. We will not hide, and we will not bend. We will walk together, hand in hand, and the noise will fade, while truth stands. So we walked not as a parade, not as fugitives, but steady, calm beneath the vast watching sky. The world could point, mock, and whisper prayers of envy, but we did not falter. No crown was displayed, no banner waved, yet love was present louder, prouder, truer than any ceremony. I spoke then to the crowd, not in anger but in truth. You saw her face, but you do not know her worth. You captured her smile, but you cannot claim her soul. She is not yours to name, not yours to judge, not yours to parade. She is mine, chosen not by chance but by fate, sealed by heaven, sacred and divine. Her heart is mine to protect, her peace is mine to guard, her life is mine to honor. She is not a prize to be displayed, not a story for your tongues. She is my flame, my soul, my wife. And so let the world take what little pieces it can. Let it trade in shadows and whispers. Let it chase applause and gather dust. For love is not currency, not spectacle. Love is a root that burrows deep, a flame that cannot be bought or stolen. Those who steal may think they hold gold, but they only hold ashes. Those who spy may think they gain truth, but they know nothing of what lovers feel. Fame burns itself into dust, greed eats its own fire, but love survives beyond ruin. Years will pass, and the noise will dim, the rumors will rot, the stories will crumble. Yet she will remain beside me, chosen bride, walking each path with me. The crowd may shout, but our silence will outlast their echoes. What is mine is written above, not bought, not shared, not stolen. No picture can capture it, no headline can touch it, no rumor can bruise it, for our bond is written in stars, guarded by the heavens themselves. So let them judge, if judgment is all they know. We live beyond their reach. Love does not live in their words, it rests in sacred joys, in the quiet laughter between two souls, in the silence no one can hear. A jealous hand had stolen, a restless heart had betrayed, but let it rest. Love rises beyond betrayal, beyond greed, beyond lies. She is my light, my chosen flame, my wife, my crown not of gold but of soul. And though the world may watch, though eyes may pierce, they cannot touch what we are. For love is older than their gossip, stronger than their envy, greater than their noise. They saw her face too quickly, but our bond was sealed long before, and it will burn long after. Forever, our souls entwine. Forever, her heart is hers and mine. And what they thought they broke, they never touched. Our love remains, still burning, still royal, still eternal.